I am overthinking being a wife.
You don't need to overthink that.
Yeah, why are you overthinking?
How long have
Are
you
you
been? How
married?
long have you been a wife?
Okay, so we've been together for about 15 years, and we've been married for about 4 months now.
Okay. And what is it that you're overthinking?
So I guess I expected, everybody was telling me, oh, it's going to feel so different once you get married. Things are not going to be the same. But it's like things are exactly the same. Like it's not, and not in a bad way, but it's like, am I doing my part right? Is it supposed to feel different? Like
I
what am I missing
mean,
here?
I personally don't think that it feels much different. I have to say, but I also feel like what what are your husband's expectations and what are your expectations, and have y'all had that conversation? And I mean, to be together already for 15 years is a long time. I guess, Savannah, you probably better to answer it than me. But I mean, I think, and then to get married, I don't think much would change.
No, LeBron and I were together for 10 years before we got married. And I would say for me, the biggest thing that I felt was just a sense of security. Like I felt like we had kids together already. I don't know, Jennifer, if you have kids or if you guys had kids
Yes,
already.
we have a son.
Yeah, but to me, it just felt like a sense of security. How I digest
Okay.
that or explain it, I don't know, but it was just more of a feeling. I can't say that it
Okay.
changed, but I will say that through our marriage, wanting to grow together, like as husband and wife, it was
Hmm.
really just setting intention and making sure that we just kind of recap, like, to be boyfriend and girlfriend for 10 years and to start having kids and then to get married. I feel like those are phases and you just have to be able to know what exactly it is out of those phases that you want. So like, I just passed my 10-year anniversary, and something that we want to be more intentional with is just making sure that our next phase of what our next phase of life looks like.
I always tried to figure out or make sense of why people decide to do some of the things that they do, including being in a relationship or boyfriend and girlfriend for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Like, I already know what I want to do with you or what I want to do with you very early in the process. And once you get to the point to where you actually start having kids with the person, and I know that there's a separation between a major billionaire athlete like a LeBron James and a regular everyday person, but we all regular people at the end of the day. Some of us just have more resources and more fame than the other. But I never understood that. That's number one. Number two, I was going to ask, because we didn't even get to this part when we were reviewing this on After Hours. I was going to ask why or what is women looking to get out of marriage? And she kind of answered it when she said that women ultimately feel a sense of security, and that's one of the reasons why they push so hard for marriage, I'm assuming. And that makes sense. It makes 100% sense, especially when you get with a person like a LeBron James, I'm assuming, because, especially earlier, she probably felt a lot of insecurity by the fact that he had so much access and so much visibility, which for me, this is the ideal couple. It's not Barack and Michelle. It's not Oprah and Stedman. It's not none of the people. I mean, it's some celebrities that I actually can refer to that I actually think that it's more ideal for the wife, and I'll get into that in a second. But as far as a celebrity couple and a woman that is playing her role, Savannah James very much is the epitome of that. Especially considering that she's been married and she is not a single baby mama. She is not divorced. She is not messy. She's never been on Basketball Wives. Probably Kobe's wife was probably dope like that too, and I'm glad that she never did a reality show. But I'm not even a fan of the fact that she is on this podcast because the perception of who she is more powerful than she opening up her mouth. But to speak to the issue of being married, it's not supposed to be different. I would assume if you've been with a person for 15 years and you only been married for 4 months, I'm not sure what would change and why women think that they're supposed to cut on or cut off something like you any different than you was when he decided to marry you. And so I think that that's a question for both people. Why do a guy wait so long to get married when he's having kids with you, when he's living with you? And then why do women feel the need to change, or what do they expect to be different when they get married? And again, I guess Savannah James specifically, she said that she felt the sense of security when she got married, even though they were boyfriend and girlfriend and had children before they did get married. Let me see if it's anything else to this before I speak to my other point.
So we speak about that
Okay.
often. And, you know, like something that's really important to me is dating. Like, yeah, we married, we've been together for 22 years, but like, I want to feel like young and fun. So I want us to date, you know? So
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
like, so, you know, like some of the smaller things. But I do think that it feels kind of the same, but you can have conversations and do things that makes it feel new and fun and, you know, something to like keep working at.
Ironically enough, I also agree with her on that front, in which she said that, she want to feel young and fun and she want to date. Because one of the things that I say is I believe that the dating doesn't start until you get married. Now, again, I'm gonna preface this by saying that I'm speaking to people that are looking to be successfully married versus people that are just in a relationship versus people that prefer to be single. I think that you should have your preference and do whatever it is that you want to do, as long as it's not hurting anybody and as long as it's not ruining a community. And when I say ruining the community, I'm thinking about the culture at large, Western culture, because I am an American and I live in America. I don't align myself based off of race. But I always say that the dating doesn't start until you get married. And that's one of the caveats to being successfully married. We put all of our effort into the process of presenting a good face or presenting the best step forward, which is probably not even authentically you when you first get into or you start interacting with a person. But then you get overly comfortable and you just be chilling when you finally get into the relationship. And that's when I think that the real interaction and a real dating, and that's when you really have the wherewithal and really the freedom to really be able to explore and do whatever it is that you want to do and try new things. Also considering that you're not going to be the same person at year one as you are in year 10 versus year 20 versus year 30. And so you gonna change, they gonna change, the kids is gonna grow up, get out of the house, you gonna have kids from being single, and then everything is gonna continuously be all y'all gonna have money, you not gonna have money when you was broke, you gonna get some money, you might lose it, and then you may get some more money. What does that look like, right? As far as exploring who that person is, you are ever evolving, you are ever changing, both men and women. And so one of the keys to being successfully married is putting your best foot forward as far as what building looks like with that person for a lifetime. And that's what makes it fun, right? I'd rather go into dating the person that I don't know that I'm married with, because that's the person that I know that I'm not wasting resources on, because it all comes back to me because we put 100%, 100% into it. I will say, even though ironically enough, I agreed with everything that she said, I'm going to echo a sentiment that I said on After Hours, in that I don't think that this ends well. Her having a podcast, I would not like for, like, again, I think that women are better who they are, and especially when you start to get a public platform and you speaking. Everybody is not going to agree with 100% of what you're saying. You're always going to have people that dislike you or disagree with you, or you're going to have takes and perspectives that rub people the wrong way. And it's impossible for you to be speaking, have a platform, and not create some kind of disagreement. And it only takes one time for you to sour or soil your reputation, similar to an Aisha Curry when she started talking overly about things that, you know, wasn't even asked of her, or she shouldn't even been divulging in the first place. I think that the presentation of a woman or who she is better left to, the imagination, but her presentation and the fact that she just showcases the epitome while the guy out there and doing the work, that's the most powerful couple. And I hate the fact that, again, nothing wrong with this episode in particular, but I just pray that it just stays. Maybe I shouldn't care. I might like say pray because I'm not really praying, but I'm speaking figuratively when I'm saying I pray that it just stays really PG-13, chilling or whatever. Because the minute that she says something or the minute that it goes off the rails, everybody gonna jump on, everybody gonna hop on it, and then she's gonna sully her reputation. And I don't really understand what she gets out of having a podcast in the first place. But I'm curious as to what you guys think. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description. We just did Stock Club, and I uploaded the video, the the restream from it on the Patreon, and I got a new video coming probably within the next day or so. So that should be interesting. Make sure y'all tap into After Hours. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Make sure you tap into the Patreon, and then I'm gonna read y'all comments shortly.